How's it going, everybody? My name is Clayton Daniel, and today I will be talking about the fentanyl issue that is very prevalent in the state of Colorado, which is my home state. So, in the state of Colorado, the fentanyl crisis is very prevalent, especially in my valley, being the Roaring Fork Valley, connecting the city of Aspen to the city of Glenwood Springs. Lately, there has been a huge rise in fentanyl and drugs and other fatal drugs in pills, powders, prescriptions, all sold on the street, all online market brands, etc. And so it's really been a problem where I've grown up, and it's been something that has been a real issue in the state of Colorado as a whole, whether it be being at CU Boulder, Colorado State, University of Denver, School of Mines, Colorado College, etc. It's a huge issue everywhere. As far as experiencing or personally knowing someone who has overdosed on fentanyl, being my friend Ashley Adams' older sister, in the Aspen Times magazine, they did a full cover story over the incident and interviewed the families, or the person's family, and tried to get a consensus of what was really going on. So a quote from the Aspen Times article is that creating awareness about fentanyl has become a major focus of Adam's life, being the family of which the daughter passed away. She and her daughter Ashley have created the group Aperture of Hope, and this is aimed on sharing their stories with teens at local high schools and public events, handing out life-saving toolkits, which are, brochures with information, test kits, fentanyl test kits, other fatal drug test kits. They also promote awareness on these issues on social media, along with information about the Opni Rescue app, which is an app that they have developed that can be downloaded on smartphones and contains information about what to do in an emergency overdose situation. Also, it includes details on the 911 Good Samaritan law in Colorado, being that if you witness a overdose, or if you're involved in an overdose of fentanyl or something like that, and you personally call the authorities and are a self-testifying witness to this, you will not get charged, and the people involved will not get charged with the possession of those drugs or the fentanyl that's included in those drugs, because of the coming forward in good faith and the details of being in an emergency situation. So, people in those age ranges, it's a typical party age range, especially in the city of Aspen, being a very touristy town, etc. And people buying pills and stuff off the street and not being aware of what's in the pills, not testing them, not being safe about it, is something that has really risen up in the city and in the state as a whole.
The choice that Emily made in purchasing what she thought was a Percocet cost her life. And it's not Emily. It's her roommate letting us know that Emily, the first responders were there and Emily had passed away. So the person who gave her the Percocet, I will never know if they knew or not if it had fentanyl in it, and we don't know that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it was a fake pill, and it was a pressed pill, and it had fentanyl in it. So they press these pills to make them look like real pills.
Gotcha. Okay.
So they will have the same code number or letter or whatever it is. So it looks like a Percocet,
right?
But it actually is not a Percocet,
Okay.
or a Xanax, but actually not a Xanax.
I gotcha. Okay.
So they have pill presses, I guess. They mix this fentanyl in a blender, like
really.
So it's like a bullet, like the bullets.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of the dealers. That's a popular thing to mix the drugs. So you don't know, like when you have when drugs, prescription drugs are mixed together. They're mixed together in a controlled environment in a factory.
Gotcha.
Where they mix them, they gyrate them, they test them. It goes through a series of things. These guys just get the powder, throw it in the blender with other stuff, and you don't know. I mean, there could be one side loaded with fentanyl and another side may not a whole lot.
And that's the trouble with testing, like fentanyl testing drugs too,
exactly.
Because part of the powder could have it, part of the other powder could not have it.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or the pill, part of the pill. Like you can cut the pill in half and we can split it. You could die, I could be okay.
Yeah.
A grain of rice, just 1 grain of rice, if that represented fentanyl, that would kill about 7 people.
Right.
Especially going towards the college issue and the university issue, more specifically in the University of CU Boulder, where most of, if not all of my close friends go to school. The fentanyl issue there is very high. It's a very dangerous place to be consuming drugs recreationally, whether it be cocaine, whether it be amphetamines, whether it be pain pills, etc., and literally anything. It's a very, very dangerous place to take those drugs because fentanyl has been a very highly sought after or very highly used thing to produce those drugs. And so next I will be interviewing one of my best friends, Maddie Gillis, who is a sophomore student at the University of Colorado Boulder. Since you are a Colorado resident, how have you personally been influenced by the prevalence of fentanyl in the state of Colorado, and especially being at the University of Colorado Boulder and being in a fraternity? How have you personally experienced that and the whole issue surrounding it?
So last year my roommate had taken something and he thought it was something else. He ended up being in bed for a couple days, not feeling well, couldn't really move, and I was going through pledgeship, so I didn't have a lot of time I wasn't home a whole lot, talking to him and stuff, and then he called me one day and he's all like, dude, I literally feel like I'm gonna die, and I was like, dude, what? What's going on? His best friend ended up taking him to the hospital. He got blood tests done, and whatever he took had fentanyl in it. It wasn't enough to kill him, obviously, but it was probably getting pretty close, and it was a super scary time. That was the only time I've really been around it. But being in a fraternity, obviously a lot of people, regardless of where you are gonna be doing some sort of drugs, and my fraternity provides fentanyl test strips, so you can test your stuff, but obviously everyone's always freaked out about it regardless.
Yeah, and so do you think that the biggest way to sort of mitigate the fentanyl issues and sort of resolve it is to provide more test kits, or what do you think should be done on that?
Yeah, I think that's an option. Maybe just provide them. I mean, they're so easy to get. They cost 99 cents for a few of them, and that's literally 99 cents to save your life. I don't know why you would do anything without testing it, but another thing that people have talked about is just legalizing some of these drugs, because if you can get them pharmaceutically, or I think it's somewhere in Europe, they allow heroin users to come and use heroin there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pharmaceutical grade heroin. Obviously there's nothing in it, and the people that are addicted just go there, do it, and then they go on with whatever there is. And it helps them, I don't know, it could help them help people just not be so scared about what they're taking. And it's always stories I got it from a friend I trust. I got it from your friend didn't make it, your friend didn't get it directly from where it's coming from. So I think just test it. It's the smartest.
For sure. So as seen through, the research done and these interviews with Maddie Gillis being a college student at the University of Colorado Boulder, and with Kath Adams, who had a daughter die from the issue of fentanyl in the state of Colorado, it's very clear to see that fentanyl is a huge issue in the state of Colorado, and something does need to be done about it. People do have different opinions on what the best route to take is, with Maddie and some other Colorado
students or, people my age thinking that test kits are a great option and just spreading awareness because of, the unfortunate fact that people aren't just going to stop taking drugs. Whereas, the more mature and the more grown-up way to think about it is the way that Kath Adams described it, being that people just need to stop taking drugs overall and just start to think about their actions and being smart in what they do.